Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the three-star call. I love this call each week because it's really an honor to be with such leaders and leadership, and I'm really excited about that. For those that don't know me and you might be new because you just got ranked up, that's awesome. Is there anyone on the call that would like to introduce their new three-star, that someone that just ranked up? And I want to certainly do shout outs for that. So, is there anyone here that wants to unmute and recognize someone for just joining the call this week? And maybe your leader can't be on, so I need you to unmute and introduce yourself.
Can you hear me?
I can. Yes.
Hi, we've got Ruth.
Hi.
Ruth Hagee is on, and she lives in Nevada, and she's actually
Awesome.
on for her first time. So
Welcome.
welcome.
Yeah, we're so honored to see you here. That is so great. Welcome, Ruth. We're really excited. We do record these calls each week. It's best if you can get on and your team as they get ranked up to three stars. So we're so honored that you're here. How about anyone else on here that's new for a first time and maybe your leader is tied up and couldn't be on but is going to listen to the recording? Anyone else?
I'm new. I'm Mindy Maxwell.
I thought you might be new, Mindy Maxwell. So thank you for unmuting. Can you tell us where you're from?
I live in Utah, and
Excellent.
Irene Smith is my sponsor.
Excellent. Oh, wonderful. Irene Smith, wonderful. Well, we're honored that you're here and
Thank
welcome for
you.
ranking up to three-star. That's so great. Anyone else that's new or wants to just say hello before we get started? You're
I
getting
can say
lots.
hello.
I think we had two at the same time. Go ahead.
Hi, this is Yannick. I'm from Boston.
Hi, Yannick from Boston. Welcome to the three-star call. Be careful driving.
Right.
Okay. Good, good, good. Is there anyone else that would like to go ahead and announce any other new three stars? This is so exciting. This is like real growth. This is how it happens. So we're just getting started with the call. If you're just popping in, thank you for being here. We're inviting all of our new three stars that haven't had a chance to say hello, just to welcome them to the group. Just really sharing the kindness and love here. So Michelle has raised her hand. Go ahead, Michelle.
Hello, my friend. Um, and because of my work schedule, I don't get to get on these calls. So I think this is my first three-star call.
Yay! Welcome, Michelle. We're so glad to have you on board. Thank you for being on. And just so you know, we do drop the recordings in the link as well too. So I'm really honored that you're here tonight. Welcome, welcome. Okay, was there anyone?
Beautiful.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got it, Michelle. Michelle Lawson. Got it. Super. So
right?
glad you're here. Where are you from, Michelle? Where do you live?
I live in Georgia.
In Georgia. Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Anyone else that's a new three-star that we can shout out tonight before we get things kicked off? I think we got everybody. That was, I think, four or five new three stars. So, round of applause for everyone here. Going to share some love and reactions in the group here. Thrilled for all of that. So, great, great job. So, I'm excited to be on with you tonight and share a little bit about you. For those that don't know me, my name is Nicole Barone. My background was in corporate pharmaceuticals. I switched gears and did a 180. I became a health coach just because I saw what was happening on the kind of, med side, that it was really turning into a lot more sick care. I actually wanted to help myself and my family. So I went ahead and jumped into wellness. I got introduced to this industry because I actually wanted more residual income. I wanted more income because I was making a six-figure plus income. And to do that as an entrepreneur, I knew I needed some other ways. So I was introduced to a different company platform that I did for 14 years. And then I came over to take a look at three. But by chance, I was not open to it. Can anyone relate to that? They were not open. They were just like, this is not for me. But I took a call by an amazing person, George and Adrian. George Ruiz called and spoke to me. And it was a call that was so fantastic because I knew of him. I knew the industry leader that he was. So I took the phone call to say no, right? And I'm thinking, this isn't for me. I'm not interested, right? And I see you guys kind of laughing a little, like, that's my story. I was not going to do this at all. And I tell you that because there's someone in your life that could be like me. that is saying no, 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 and they're really saying KNOW. I don't know what you're talking about, Nicole. You are just a little bit too much energy. You're a little too high strung and happy. I don't know what you're talking about. But anyway, and the short story was that I ended up saying yes to so many reasons why, three. And I'm so honored that you guys are here tonight because we are in for a really great treat. So I want to talk a little bit about that. But I said yes because I really truly believe that this income opportunity put in the right hands for the individual can really be something five, six-figure income, seven-figure income, whatever that is. And so I'm really honored to build here with beside all of you. I'm from Morristown, New Jersey, about 30 miles west of New York City, but I actually have a winter home in Florida as well. I'm on the west coast of Florida, so I'm in Venice, Florida right now, and then I'll head back for some meetings next week and be up there. So that's the beauty of this. We can Zoom from all over. So thank you guys for being here tonight. And I want to bridge off a little bit of what was discussed last week. We had Greg Ferraro, a six-star, who was talking about this legendary business that we're in, the world of network marketing, and why I believe everyone should be involved in a network marketing company, and why I believe everybody should be involved in three. I wanted Greg to kind of give you a high level discussion, if you will, about why this is so powerful. And tonight I want to go a little bit deeper. And I want to go a little bit deeper to making sure you're new. All of a sudden, you're getting this money. You're not sure how you're getting this money and what's going on. And there's no better person to do that than George Ruiz. Because when I have a phone, when I ask him about a company, I XYZ network marketing company, I said, George, do you know about this compensation plan? It's a unilevel. Do you know about this compensation? George has the answer for me. And that's how I've learned and grown. And I want you guys to know we have such a valuable resource in that. But what Greg was kind of talking about is really just making sure that you never quit. Why? Because you're going to ride this out and you know that you can be successful with it. And it really comes down to, in my mind, what I saw what Greg had, it was absolute certainty. It was his mindset. And then it backs it up with the most amazing product, the most amazing compensation plan, the most amazing leadership, the most amazing products. Like all those things are the add-on. But Greg is just, without a doubt, knowing that his mindset is that it's the filter for everything. How you show up, how you handle rejection, how long are you going to stay in the game until it gets uncomfortable? It gets uncomfortable every single day, and I get rejected every single day. In fact, I'm at the point right now, if I don't get rejected, then I feel like I'm not doing it. Right? I'm not actually sharing enough, or maybe I'm not meaning rejected of like, oh, I'm not so sure if that's for me, or things like that, right? So really, you have to have that mindset, that strong mindset in doing this each and every day and how you show up. So I'm honored that you're here on this call. You deserve to be on this call. You have done the work to get here, and I'm really, really happy about that. So tonight we're going to talk a little bit about strengthening your mindset around compensation. And truly, this is the best and most lucrative compensation plan in the industry. So I'm going to have George kind of just make sure that you guys all know George Ruiz, but I'm going to let him introduce himself. And George, I'm going to make you co-host as well, because I know you want to share a couple of things. But what I wanted to do tonight was go in and like get a little bit deeper, which we didn't do with Greg last week, talking about cycles, talking about leadership check match, talking about never losing volume. So George, I don't want to take your thunder. I just made you co-host. Please go ahead and share with everybody, especially the new people. We have some on just high level. George is 30 years in the industry. He is, I'm just going to say the Mac Dad, right? The Mac Daddy. Like he has all the answers when I need it. He knows so much about everything. And he's such a wealth of knowledge for us, but around compensation specifically. George was even one of the very initial pioneers to talk about compensation with three when they started the company. So, George, we're honored to have you tonight. Thank you for taking us in on just a couple of different items that are very important to understand. So you take it away. Thank you. Uh-oh, you're muted.
Mute myself. Okay, now I am mute. Thank you for inviting me. One of the reason I'm fanatic with the pay plan is because I love numbers. My background, I went to college, I went to business and then computer science. Obviously, I like numbers. I am a nerd. Never work on that, by the way. I couldn't see myself working for an office. I went into real estate right away. Didn't have anything to do with that. But anyway, when I came to the U.S. many years ago, and when the real estate business crashed, the one that I was at, that's when I discovered network marketing. But I was fascinated with the numbers. I was fascinated with the power of duplication and the simplicity. We tend to make everything very complicated, and it's why I got so into pay plans and how the pay plans work. The first pay plan that I work with is one of the toughest ones. It's what they call breakaway, without going in details, but usually are the older plans. And but I thought even that I was thinking that was amazing. But then I started learning from other plans, and then years ago, probably I would say like 10 years ago, Daniel and I started talking about the perfect compensation plan. That was way before 3. And we were talking about the simplicity of the binary, the simplicity of the qualifications. And it's why we have that pay plan today, because the conversation that we had. Because we were looking for something that was simple to build. And I know many people say, well, I don't understand this and that. But in reality, when you compare with other pay plans, it's very simple. And it's very fair too. And it's based just in behavior. And as a matter of fact, let me share the screen. And it's why I know exactly how the plans work. By the way, I want to congratulate Mindy to become a 3-star, because I know her from the company before, the same company Nicole was. I met her, I think it was around 2003, 2004. Imagine, it's many years ago. And now she's back. She's been here for just a couple of months, and now she's a 3-star. Congratulations, Mindy. But anyway, let me tell you why I'm so excited. And I'm going to use a little person that I call her Trisha. It's a cartoon that I created because I love to explain the pay plan. Of course, I ain't explaining it, but to show you why I'm so excited. Okay, let me share my screen. Ta-da, share screen. Ding dong, that sounds like somebody's at my door. Well, the business is simple. It's really simple. Keep that in mind. It's very simple. We tend to complicate it ourselves. We are just connecting with people, presenting and follow up. You have a name of the list that always you are adding. And I'm not going to go into those because you hear a lot about that. But I am going to go into why Greg was so excited. He was talking about the potential. But it's simple. Again, you try the product, you share the product and the opportunity, and then you earn money. That's it. Why do we have to making it way more complex of what it is? It's very, very simple. And then, first of all, let me tell you about something very important. And I'm going to start with the smart ship, because a lot of people that have never been in network marketing, sometimes they don't understand the importance of the smart ship. But here, one of the cool things is in our pay plan, when you are in the smart ship, you never ever lose your volume. And we are going to go into detail. That means that if you don't qualify for some volume yet, that volume is going to stay. Oops, sorry. That volume is going to be there forever. You never have to be worried about losing your volume, etc. And that's one of the beautiful things about this pay plan. Now, but again, smart ship, and the cool thing also, smart ship, that you for sure you are ordering the products that you use every month, because you don't want to run out of products. You want to make sure that you are feeding your body, because the body, when you are giving the right nutrients to the body, guess what? When it duplicates, it gets better and better and better, because the body is renewing all the time. But if we go back to the way that we were eating when we were not getting the right results, guess what? The duplication is going to be bad in our cells. Now we have the sales to customer. I'm not going to go into details on that, but when you sell, you make 25% flat. You don't have any qualification that to get to the 25%, you have to have 5 customers or 10 customers. No, just 1 customer, you get 25%. It's very simple, and you get paid the next day. It's that darn simple. And I know, and I'm excited about this part too, because not everybody is going to be a brand ambassador. They are just people that they are going to say, I just want to buy the product, or they are going to see your app or something that you post on social media, and they order on their own, and you get 25%. next day, and then you see, wow, I make $50, I make $30. This is beautiful, in my opinion, because it's very simple. You don't have even to think about. And we have amazing products, especially the GLP-3. The reason I had the kinetics too, in that picture too, because the kinetics is another product that a lot of people are looking for today, because most of the energy drinks that we have around there are not the best. But anyway, now here's where the big things start, the team commissions. And this is something that is different from most companies. When I started network marketing, I started in the oldest pay plan, the plans that are very common, and some companies like Mary Kay, Herbalife, Shaklee, New Skin, Amway, etc. They use this the older plan. This plan is new, basically. This plan didn't exist this kind of pay plan didn't exist 20, 25 years ago. And it's been evolving to become the best now with us. But it's very simple. You are building only two teams. One on the left, one on the right. And any person that you sponsor extra is going to go under any of those two people that you sponsor originally. And to make it simple, when you have 300 points on one side and 600 on the other one, and these are banks that you create. You create a bank on the left and you create a bank on the right. With one bank has 300 points and the other one 600. It could be the other way around, 600 and 300. You get $35. That's what we call a cycle. And you can get up to 600 cycles per week. That means over $21,000 a week. Can you see the potential? And what are the qualifications? Make sure that you are ordering products every month. That's about 60 points. That's about $110 in products. And make sure that you have at least two people, one on the left, one on the right, that they are doing the same thing. It's as damn simple. Nicole, I don't know if you want to add something else about that.
I love that you just shared that, and I'm putting a couple notes in the chat. So if you're able to view it and you're not driving, you can see that, because I think it's really important. A lot of times people just ask, can someone get an account and just do the customer volume, right? Just do the affiliate and earn the customer commissions. So right. You just said that, George, and I want to make sure we emphasize that. You could have a hairstylist that all she wants to really do is sell it retail and just do the 25% and have the customer commissions only. Someone does not have to buy a team, build a team. And so I think that's really important. And then the other thing I was doing was that I was putting in the chat is that it's really cool when you activate the team commissions and bring on two people. So if you think about this, and you guys are all 3 stars, so you've already done it, but you want every new brand ambassador to bring on 2 new people. And you have to help them to do that with a phone call, with a 3-way call, with a coffee shop meeting, with a Zoom call, with an in-person call. Whatever way you do that, you have to, your job, when they come on and they raise their hand and they say they want to make money, we have to do that. Am I perfect at it? No, absolutely not. You don't, but my point is that we want to make sure that we do that each and every time. So that's like super important that we do that. So go ahead.
Sorry,
yeah.
I was going to say, we have an example. Of course, the example that I'm going to show you is an extreme example. Not everybody's going to do it. But we have a 19-year-old. She's a full-time student in Dixie College in Southern Utah. She worked part-time also with some dentists that are holistic. And she asked if she could sell the products through, because the part-time that she's there, and the holistic doctors, and they love her, said, sure, you can do it. In the last 4 weeks, she had moved over $5,000 in products. What's 25% of that? And she's 19 years old. Think about that. Now, I don't say that everybody's going to do that, but I'm showing you the potential of what can happen. And she's, again, part-time working with the holistic dentist in St. George, Utah, and then go full-time to college. That's amazing. This is powerful. Again, somebody buy from you and you get paid. But anyway, and the cycles, and then she's getting volume for the cycles. Why? Because she's getting people volume on the left, and then she has some people on the right too. And she's cycling too. I don't remember how many times she has cycled. But anyway, that's an example. Team commissions is amazing. Mm-hmm. It's very simple. And does she have to be full-time and know about the numbers? No. She just knows left and right. If her left is stronger, where do you think the volume is going to go next time, or the next person that you put in? On the right side, or the opposite. If the right side is the strongest on volume, the next person is going to be on the left side. It's simple as that. And you can go up to $21,000 per week in income. This is not in volume, in income. And by the way, for those mathematicians, it's over $1 million a year. That's so cool. I love that. And then we are talking about the two. I talk about the retail and now this. Now, this part is so important, is the spillover. Now, what is the spillover? You come and your sponsor is about you, or you yourself, you're going to sponsor more than 2 people. The third person has to be under somebody else. That's what is spillover. In this example, the L1, that's your sponsor is about, the L1 is you, and then that person is going to put somebody under you, and that's what we call spillover. And the cool thing, the good thing that volume counts. That volume counts. Let me put in.
Someone's calling George to talk about the comp plan.
This person actually, it is. I don't know who was the one before, but
just some millionaire from another company.
Do not disturb my phone. We are not going to hear that anymore. Anyway, this is powerful. That means that when you are building your team, you are helping your team because the third person, fourth person, fifth person is going to be under somebody in your team. The same way that your sponsor, when he or she sponsor somebody else over the 2, that person is going to go under you. It's very possible that goes under you. And by the way, it's very important to keep in mind it's still your responsibility are the 2 legs. Why? Because let's suppose your sponsor puts somebody under you on the left side, but your right side, you're putting more people and it's going stronger and stronger, and then your right side is strong. Obviously, you are going to go on to the left side too, to start to keep putting people. But this is powerful because this does not happen in other pay plans. In other pay plans, they are not going to put people under you. That's not going to happen in the older plans, especially, again. And I'm not saying anything bad about those plans. It's just that they're older, like Mary Kay, Shackley, Herbalife, Amway, New Skin, etc., 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 or unilevels. Unilevels are plans similar to those, although they have a different structure. I'm not going to go much in detail, but they don't put people under you. Of course, I do not depend on that. Make sure, remember that still your responsibility is only 2 legs. In other pay plans, you have to build more legs. And this is the beauty of this plan. You have only 2 legs to build. It's very natural, and I can prove it to you right now. How many people do you know with 2 legs? It's very simple, as you see, super simple. Now, the benefit of pay plan is amazing because you have unlimited levels on the binary. In other words, doesn't matter how deep the volume is coming, the computer is going to look for them. And remember, the only qualification we have not even talked about ranks is to make sure that you have 2 people, one on the left, one on the right. And if 2 superstars come in under any of those sides, wow, game over. You could be cycling 300, 400, 500 times or more, up to 600 times. The unpaid volume, we don't qualify. Let's suppose that on the right side you have like 10,000 points. I'm going much quicker than the left. Stay there as long as you are in Smartship. It's why I named it Smartship at the beginning. There are no blocks of any kind. We are not telling you that you have to be 1, 2, 3, or 4 star not to get all the cycles. We're not telling you that. This is cool. No blocks. You never lose anybody. If somebody under you become a superstar, it's not going to pass you like happened in the other pay plans. If in the other pay plans, people get to certain rank before you, you lose that person forever. Here, it doesn't matter if you sponsor the super duper leader on the left side or the right side, doesn't matter. you know, wow, I'm losing my voice because I'm so excited. That's why the potential is enormous and the structure is very simple. You bring 2, help them to bring 2, repeat the process. Before I go into that one.
So I think this is a really great slide, George. I love how I think this really speaks volumes to anyone that was ever involved before, or maybe has gotten the objection, does this work? So I feel like that's such a good slide that you have, George. Are you there with us?
Yeah. Anybody has any question right now? Because I want to go to the next step. I want to make sure this is clear. Just 2 legs to build.
Yeah.
How simple can be that? I love it.
There's no bad questions here. And so I know there's a lot of new people. And so if you have a question, it actually helps everyone. And we wanted to make sure we took this to the next level. Sky has a question. Go ahead. Unmute, please.
Okay, go ahead. Sky.
Hi, George. Hi. So I have quite a bit of what they call, power pack volume, that kind of thing on my left side. So I've been building out my right side. And that's my understanding of what I should be doing. And I just want to know if that's a good strategy or if I am needing to go right, left, because
No,
I've been
let me tell you.
adding people.
Let me tell you, that's the cool thing. The plan is so simple. If one side is stronger, in this case, you have points, a lot of points there, you go to the opposite side. That's it. We don't have even to think about. Because if you have 10,000, 20,000, who knows, some people have way more than that points in one leg, just build the opposite side until one day you capture all those points and the legs could be switched. Suddenly the one that you're building becomes stronger because that happens all the time. How do I know? Oh, Nicole has that experience. She had tons of points and suddenly she switched. And many people had that experience when I started with this kind of pay planning.
Okay.
It switched. Yeah, it's
So
simple.
so basically I just keep building out the
The
side
opposite
that's
side, yeah.
less
Yes.
until I catch up to all
Until you
those
use the
points.
volume, correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Just
because the
making
volume
sure.
there's, yes, because the volume there is money waiting for you. It's coins
Yes.
waiting for you. Let's
Yes.
get those coins.
And another question is about the cycling, because you get it's easier to get the cycle. I have more points on the left side, so I need to build on the right side to make the cycle happen.
Yeah, and you need only 300 points
Correct.
because the
Okay.
600 points are where the volume is the biggest. And that's
Yes.
again the cool thing. You don't have to
Okay.
go with the bigger points. That's why, remember, it's very simple. Oh, well, my left leg had more volume, and then I put people on my right leg. Every time you put 300 points, you're cycling. 300 points, you cycle. You don't have to
Okay.
worry because you have already volume on the other side. It's
Okay.
simple as that.
So, Sky, your question is such a good question because
Yeah.
as
It
we
is a
bring
good
on
question.
new brand ambassadors, as George is saying, like you're going to always go in the beginning, left, right. And now you have a stable base and the one leg is even stronger.
Yeah.
And so you're building the one side to eat up that volume. It was what George is saying. So you're doing it absolutely right. Everybody's view in their back office and their visual tree looks a little different. And so it's always important to reach out to your upline and say,
Yes.
hey, can we just look at this that I'm doing this correctly? And just so you're always in alignment, but what you're doing is exactly right. Now you're just building that lesser leg because it's a 2/3, 1/3 split. You're getting team volume, what George said, the spillover from the team, and that's your strengthened leg, your 600 leg, and now you're just building the other side, not left. You're building the other leg at 300. So exactly what you're doing is right. And George, you hit the nail on the head. So that's great.
And by the way, to clarify, and Shannon wrote that on the chat, you have to still have in both sides at least one person active. Remember,
Yes.
I showed you in the originally, you had to have one on the left and one on the right that at least are having 60 points. Because if you have it just in one leg, you're accumulating the volume, but you are not getting paid on them. You have to make sure you have one on the left, one on the right. Now you can have one on the left and 100 on the right. You can do that because if you have a lot of volume in the other side, yeah, you want to use all that volume. But this is the cool thing. When you have a lot of volume on one side, naturally you're building one leg, the one that has the less volume, and eventually that could become the strongest one. And now it switch. Now that doesn't happen all the time in case you have a superstar in the other side, but that could happen, and that's cool. Because really, in the long term, you always are building it's only one leg. In the long term, in the short term, when you're new, you're going left, right, left, right, because the left suddenly becomes stronger, but the next week is the other one, and then you can go left, right. But anyway, but that's as simple as that. I think, Kenyon, you have a question.
Oh, well, I just got a comment on that. So as us being all 3 stars, we got to look at our downline. And we got to make sure we have 900 points in that year or we lose our 3-star status. We don't ever want to lose that. So there might be a time you have to put somebody on the opposite leg to make sure you keep your points
Yeah, that
rolling
goes in
through.
the next slide, by the way.
Sorry.
Yeah, you're jumping ahead because we are not talking about ranks right now yet.
I'm just saying with volume. So good job, George. I'll hush my mouth and do it. But that girl also is in my downline that's here in St. George, and she's pretty excited. It's more like
yeah, the person that we were talking about is under Kenyon, the 19-year-old.
Yeah, she's done closer to 8,000 in volume. So just think about that at a 19-year-old.
25% of that. Think about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's on their canyon. She's amazing, by the way. She's amazing because she's only 19. Can you imagine? Okay, all right. Anyway, oh, and by the way, and this is the cool thing. You see, we have not talked about about ranks yet. That means that you can make a lot of money without having a high rank. You can go up to 600 cycles without having a high rank. And that's over $1 million a year. That's the simplicity. Most pay plans, and when I say almost every other plan, in order to start getting into good income, you have to have more qualification. You have to have more stuff. Here is very simple, and I'm going to keep sharing here because I want to make sure we have like 10 more minutes, and then we have some questions. All right. Okay, by the way, here's the example. If you learn something about the pay plan, it's only one thing. I've been doing this for years. 1 to 12 on the left side is the months. On the right side, let's suppose that you bring two people that they are going to duplicate you. That doesn't mean that you bring two and everybody's going to do the same thing. And they bring two is 4, and that's 4 to 8. At the end of 12 months, you have over 8,190 people. Now, how many of those you actually personally sponsor? Let's leave the question there. How many of you sponsor? How many you sponsor in that example? I want you to think about that. Anybody? You have 8,190 people. How many you personally sponsor? Anybody? Let's see who's the first one that's going to answer.
Two. Two.
Just two. Just two. Do you see the power of this plan? Did I say anything about what kind of rank? But two people that are duplicating you, by the way. Not everybody's going to do it. Now, let me share again. I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes when we are hiding behind the slide, nobody wants to talk. All right. By the way, look the example. Over $31,000 per month. It's about 910 cycles. The reason we know is because I divided. But this is the secret. Teach people to bring two. Help them to bring two and repeat the process. If this is the only thing that you are teaching, you're going to go through all the ranks, all the things that you have to go. As simple as that. And when you explain to these people, anybody that you're saying, well, let me show you how the pay plan works, 2, 4A, and then show the potential, you can even copy this slide, make a picture. And I like to do it manually because it's nice when people see when you're writing it down, but you can use this as your, to copy it from there anyway. This is amazing. But this is something amazing. Is the matching bonus. Now, matching bonus is based on ranks, and that's when then the volumes are important. And here is an example of the matching bonus. This is where your personals. By the way, in order to get matching bonus, you have to be what is called 1 star. And 1 star, I'm not going to go into a qualification. I didn't do a slide for that on purpose because I don't want to go too deep into that. Because by doing this, you are going to get to this position. You are going to qualify. Because when you sponsor two and help them to sponsor two, and you repeat the process, when you repeat the process 3 times, you go all the way to 3 star. You see, I explained how to get a 3 star. I told you the volumes that you need. I said, when you do this 3 times, you bring 2, help them to bring 2, repeat the process, you bring 2, repeat the process 3 times, you become a 3 star. That's powerful. It's as simple as that. It's why I say our plan is simple. And here is an example of cycles. When somebody on your left, you have a cycle here, and you remember, you make $35. And let's suppose that Bob, you do the same thing. Bob get a cycle, $35. Guess what? You get 30%, up to 30% of that, it's $10.50. Now, it doesn't sound like a lot.
Yes, it does.
A cycle is also, let's make sure that we mute, I don't know, I think
I don't know who's unmuted, but thank you for me.
Okay. Anyway, that means that every time somebody make money, you make money. Then this is the secret. Make money and help pay people that make money. Because every time they make money in the cycles here, you make a percent. $10.50, click, ching. 1 cycle. Now, if it's 10 cycles, how much money you're making? 150. What if you have all the people together that you personal sponsor 1,000 cycles? Multiply 35 times 1,000. That's 35,000. There are no limits here. There's no $21,000 limit. Every time somebody cycle that you personal sponsor, and you can go up to 3 levels. Let me show you this example. You sponsor one VA, and that VA become a superstar. We get paid weekly, but let's assume, and I'm going to go to a big example. That doesn't mean that I'm saying that you're going to get that person, but what if you sponsor one person that's making $1 million a year? Oops. Like for example, Holly DeMont. You can get 30% a year. You're making $300,000 a year on only one person. Let me show you the power of this. Even if you are cycling here, let's suppose that you're cycling only 2 or 3 times a week, but you sponsor a super leader. Guess what? You can get 30%, up to 30% on that person, and you can be making $300,000 a year. That's what I said, this pay plan is so powerful. That's another way to earn $1 million. Why? Because a person that's making $1 million a year, they have tons of people making money, but let's suppose that there are 5 that are making each one $600,000 a year. By the way, you can make more money than me and than anybody in your upline. And you have 6, each one $600,000, it's $3 million more. You get 15%. That's when you become a 2-star. That's $750,000 total. And 3-star, and I'm going to talk about the number in a second. Let's suppose that each one when a person is making, even, it doesn't matter how much money you're making, but you're making it's only 10 cycles a week, you have people under you that are already making money too. But let's suppose that this each one has 5, is 25 more, and let's suppose that what they're making is 400,000, I just throw in the numbers. It's another $1 million a year, $1.7 million. And to get to this matching bonus, and I know some people are passing out right now because I'm talking about the big numbers, but I'm showing you the potential. You put it in your mind, put it to the goal that you want to, but this is the potential. This is the way that King Win, another company, was over $1 million per month in income. But look at this. And this is when you become a 3-star. Becoming a 3-star is very simple. You have a total of 6 people as a minimum, no more than 600 points on each person, and you are qualified for a whole 12 months. That's why one of the things that Kenyon was saying, make sure that you always qualify as a 3-star because you get paid the 3 levels. And it's not hard, it's only 3,600 points in a year time. 12 months. Holy cacahuate, in most companies said you have to qualify every week or every month. Here they give you 12 months to qualify.
So George, Caroline has a question, has her hand raised. This is so powerful, you guys. That slide is so powerful.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, this is the last slide. It's a timing hand. Okay, Caroline from Japan.
Can you clarify something? What Kenyon had asked about? Because I want to make sure I don't lose my 3-star status. What is it that we have to do to keep our 3-star status?
You have to make sure that you have, like I just said, you have to, excuse me, let me show you the slide that is specific for the 3-star. Okay, all right. Okay, let me put this slide because I think it's better if I share the slide. Oops, where is the slide? Oh, here. Okay, for this, look at the qualification on the right side. When you have 3,600 points that are accumulated in 52 weeks. This is the cool thing, they're giving you 52 weeks. You have to make sure it's maximum of 600 per leg. That's why I say 6 legs. And when I say legs, these are personal sponsor legs. Doesn't have anything to do with the left and right. Every time you sponsor one, that's a personal enrolled leg. They call it personal and 3 in leg. A minimum of 900 per side. That's why he was talking about make sure that your strongest side, you have few people, make sure that you have 900 points there. In other words, this is the way that can look like. And by the way, it's the whole leg, not just the individual. Here we have an example how you can become a 3-star. And you have seen this slide a lot because several trainings are on how to become a 3-star. But let's suppose that one leg has 600 points, one person that you sponsor, another one 600, but the other one is 200 points. Whatever comes under that leg counts too. that personal enroll elect. This doesn't have anything to do anything with the binary. This is for the qualification purposes and for the matching bonus. But when you are doing this, you're already at 3-star. You have to make sure you have at least 6 people that have at least 600 points. By the way, you can have 2 in one side and 4 in the other one. Here we just put a balance, left and right, because you see left and right, but it could be 2 in the left side and, and 4 in the right side, and the 3, and the regular 3. But this is what the computer is keeping track. It's keeping track of how many people you have personally. If you sponsor 20 people, the computer is going to have 20 balloons there that say L1. L1 are your personals. L2, the one that they bring. L3 are the one that the L2 bring, all the way to L7, because we get paid on the matching bonus up to 7 levels. But I like to show just the 3 levels, because if I had just these 3 levels that I just talked about, okay, let me switch the slide. Okay, where we were before. Okay, in the other company, I made $1 million a year. I did have a matching bonus. If I had this, I would have made probably at least $4 or $5 million a year, because I have I would have paid in the 7 levels, because I have 40 people that earn over $1 million in my team in the other company.
Amazing.
It's why this plan is amazing. It's rewarding you if you bring a leader. In most companies, you bring a leader and they actually punish you because you don't make more money or you lose that person forever. Here, they never punish you. It's why this plan is the perfect plan. I don't care what people said, and people are going to come saying, you know, my pay plan is better than yours. Clearly, they don't know about their own pay plan.
Yeah. So, George, that was so awesome. We just have just a few minutes to ask some questions. And I just thought that last particular slide was so powerful. And if you're new, I want you to understand, if you don't sleep tonight, this is why, right? So as a 3-star, you've now tapped into the leadership matching at 3 levels deep. So congratulations, right? And that just goes
all of you.
All of you, you've done it. So that's awesome, right? And that's all we're doing is we're building 1-stars and 2-stars and 3-stars and beyond. So I think it's really powerful. I wanted you to get some basics tonight. You don't have to always know all the words. Reach up to your leader, go to your leader, go to George, and they can explain it to you again. But the bottom line is, George said, this is a simple plan. It's a simple, binary that plays you infinitely. And sometimes, I'm going to say this because it happens on my team and I understand. Sometimes we say the words, I don't understand the compensation plan. This is very difficult. It's very hard. And those words, when we speak that, we're blocked. You're sending negative energy out about money. And that is a block that you are having. And we want to get rid of it right away. So that means you have to get on a call with me. You have to get on a call with George. You have to get on a call with Adrian, Shannon, your upline, whoever that may be, because I want you not to have a money block. This 3-star level up training, we've had 2 weeks now talking about compensation. You have to have a mind that is so clear on this compensation, no matter what plan is out there, that this is the best plan.
Correct.
And that's what I want to make sure. Thank you.
The cool thing, you don't have even to know the plan to make money. I got a call last year from this guy saying, I got a check for $1,500 last week, and I don't know how that happened because I cycled only 2 times. But he has sponsored a leader. But he didn't realize that because he was coming from traditional network marketing. He didn't understand the matching. But if you understand only one thing, bring 2, help them to bring 2, repeat the process, you go to all the levels, all the ranks. That's amazing. And all the ranks. You don't have to explain the pay plan, explain the potential. It's like the GLP-3. If you start going to scientists with somebody else, that person is going to pass out. Just talk about the benefit. The same thing here. Those are the benefits. And no other plan, and I challenge people, no other plan is so simple like ours. Even if they are called binaries, because where Nicole and I were was a binary, but it was not like this one. It's like, how many restaurants, you go to a Mexican restaurant and the food was great, you go to another one, it's terrible. That doesn't mean that all of them are terrible or all of them are good. These are pay plans, this is a binary like many other ones. But by the way, the majority of plans are not binary. The majority are unilevel or breakaway. That's the 90% of the plans. There are very few binaries actually.
So we have 2 hands raised. First was Lynn and then Joshua. Okay.
Okay, Lynn, how are you?
Hi, George. Hi, everyone. Can you show us where that report is on our teams so we can look at where we stand in the
Okay.
qualifications for like 3 stars? So it shows our right and our left leg, so we know what our points are on each side.
Okay, let
Uh,
me see if I can get to one of the
yeah, that helped me tremendously to look at it visually to see where I needed to talk to team members or so forth or BAs.
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna wrap things up in about 5 minutes because we have
Thank
a
you.
call coming in. But Lynn, this is a good point, and George is gonna get it. So we got that. And I know when we talk money, everybody has questions, so that's good. So as
Okay.
George is getting that, Joshua, do you want to unmute and ask your question to the group so we can kind of do it both simultaneously, not to distract, but just to make sure if you have a question. Yes.
Sure. But this question can be for anybody can answer it. I can't remember. Is it 20 days on or no, 10 days on, 20 days on off? Or is it 10 days on, 10 days off for the collagen?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, for the collagen, you're going to use it for 10 days, once a day for 10 days, and then you take 20 days off.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's
thank
it.
you.
You got it.
Simple. Okay, let me show really quick. By the way, Caroline, I happen to have your back office here. I'm going to use it. Just the part because you have so many people sponsored. I love the. It's okay? So raise your hands. Yes. No. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, thank you, Caroline.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, because that was the first one that came up. All right. Okay. You see here where it said business. You go to report center, and then you go here where it say PGB report. Okay, you can use this one, but my favorite. Actually, let me go to my favorite. It's the Enroller 3. Let me tell you what is my favorite. Because here you have all the L1s and it tells you if you are capped or not at 600. Remember that's maximum 600 per leg? Whoa, you are very strong 3 star. Look at that. You have three, six, eight people already that are saying, and you need only six. And plus you have several people that are really close. But you see this capped. Now look at this say here, cap, if you are 1 star, it's capped at 200. And maximum is 800 points. If you are a 2 star, maximum the cap is 300, and you're also 4 legs, by the way. 6 legs is only the 3 star. But you see, there is no caps for 4, 5, 6 star anymore. This is the base. It's why when we said 3 star, open the door for the rest of the pay plan. That's it. When you are a qualified 3 star, you are opening the doors for the 4, 5, 6 star. The other ones are mostly based on mostly in volume and the amount of 3 stars that you have in your organization. But you see how cool, how simple it is? That means that you can look at this. For example, Carol say, okay, let me see if oh, wow, I have more than enough. You don't have to worry, Caroline, at all. That's amazing.
This is so great, George. I put that little tip in the notes so you guys can look at that, and please reach out so we can look at your individual report and help you to win. When you win, we all win. And I want to thank you, George, tonight. I want to thank everyone on the call. I want to be really mindful of the time. So big claps for all of this great stuff tonight and sharing and helping us understand. We're going to switch gears over to the 3 op call, which is going to be on in just a few minutes. So we're
Can I
gonna
say something really quick because there's a question there. After we became 3 star, how do we keep the rank? I just show you the same thing that you used to get to 6 star. I mean 3 star. It's the same. And you look at the report, and if you see, oh wow, I have 6 legs that are 600 points, I don't have to worry. That's simple. Now, if you keep sponsoring people, with more reason you never to worry because you have more than enough volume because all the people that you sponsor counts. That's the cool thing, and you never stop. When you never stop, you never have to worry about that at all, zero. But anyway, thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey,
Have a
George.
wonderful night.
Thank you,
Welcome
George.
and
Hey, this is
congratulations.
Stuart, George. I'm going to try to get set up tonight on my back office, but would you be available tomorrow if I need you, George, possibly?
Tomorrow I can, today I can't, but I send you a text tomorrow to say the
Thank
time.
you,
Okay,
guys.
buddy.
Yeah, let's connect
Thanks.
offline. Thank you.